Wobbles, one if not the greatest Ice Climbers players ever, was never supposed to be in the Smash Bros. Limelight. His biggest tournament run ever that really got his name out there almost didn't happen. Wobbles popularized the most controversial technique in Melee history and became one of the best players to ever pick up a controller. But how good was he actually? Robert Wobbles Wright is famously known as he was the player who popularized wobbling. But what is wobbling? I think we need to give some context for all of the Slippy kids watching who don't know what it is. This technique was discovered by Japanese players in the mid-2000s, but Wobbles took it to the next level. Now that this technique is banned, many of you youngins watching never lived through this inescapable infinite combo. If an ice climber grabbed their opponent and still had Nana by his side, while slowly holding down the analog stick and pressing the A button at 200 beats per minute, you were locked into an infinite death combo. Guaranteed as long as the ice climber player does not mess up that timing. Wobbles began using this technique to become one of the best players in the world. Wobbles entered the Smash scene in 2006 with 2 tournaments. He did okay at Champ Combo, NorCal Edition placing 25th. He performed very well at NorCal Tournament 2, placing 9th and tying with Isaiah, one of the best players in the world at the time. NCT 2 was also the tournament where he showed off wobbling, with the king of Smash himself, Ken, naming the technique after Wobbles after he saw him using the infinite combo extensively. This spawned the incredibly controversial technique known as wobbling. But why was it so controversial? We'll get into the specifics later. Wobbles had a great start to his Melee career. Very few players placed as highly as him so early into the game. In 2007, Wobbles actually won a tournament. He won Evo South 2007. Now to add some much needed context, the whole tournament was single elimination. There weren't any notable players and also had no entry fee. Wobbles himself said it was because it was so last second. Still though, he won a tournament. An incredible feat for not playing very long. This wasn't all that happened this year though, with Wobbles having other notable performances such as Evo East 2007 where he placed 9th with a good number of the world's best players in attendance. Next he got 13 at the even more stacked Zero Challenge 3. His best one was 5th at Super Champ Combo. In this tournament he sent Ken to losers and tied with Chudet, who was considered the best ices in the world at the time by a good margin. Wobbles had put himself on the map beating the best player in the world as well as the best ices in the world. Unfortunately, Wobbles didn't have a great year in 2008, especially compared to his previous ones. He placed a shockingly low 33rd at Pound 3, a surprise considering how well he had done the year prior. At the greatest Melee tournament ever since Brawl came out event, he placed 17th, better than his Pound 3 placement but achieving the previous heights he had. Wobbles had a big decrease in attendance from 2008 and onwards. It could be possible that because he wasn't as active as other players, he wasn't doing as well when he did show up to tournaments, even though he had a much higher potential. Going into 2009, he placed 7th at Active Gamers and also placed 7th at Coast to Coast. His best placement came from Mango Juice where he lost to Silent Spectre for 4th. If you've been around and like to watch salty moments, you may already know how this set went.
Oh! Jeff going for that Nana. God! Oh, shit. Fuck. And I think Jeff won.
2010 rolls around, and while Wobbles isn't the most active, he's still having very solid showings. He placed 6th at Apex 2010, losing to Mewtwo King and Dr. Peepee, who were the gods of Melee at the time. No one really beat them other than each other, so 6th at Apex 2010 was a big placement. Hold on though, 6th? How the hell do you get 6th place at a tournament? Yeah, you can actually challenge an opponent who tied with you in placings. Axe placed 5th at this tournament, so he would have either defeated Wobbles or Wobbles would have forfeited their set. If you want to see another time this happened, go check out my PPMD video. He narrowly missed top 8 at Tipped Off 6 this year, placing 9th. He won a smaller scale event in PoE 3 though, defeating Falco Legend Zoo to win it all. Wobbles only had 2 events in 2011. He narrowly missed top 8 at Genesis 2, placing 9th at the event, though he did win a tournament over Axe at Nonstop Infinite Climax. Kind of a fitting name for Wobbles, don't you think? A non-stop infinite climax and then he kills you? Get it? Ice climbers, infinite, wobbling. In 2012, the unfortunate trend of Wobbles barely missing top 8 continued, with his 9th place finish at Apex 2012. He did get his first win over a melee god though, being Mewtwo King, the first god slain in his melee career. Fortunately, however, he was decently active this year with a handful of events, though some were on the smaller side. He managed a 5th place finish at Winter Game Fest 7, first at Codenamed Epic, and an impressive 3rd place finish at Night, only losing to S2J and Mewtwo King. 2013 begins with a not so great 17th at Apex 2013. He did manage to place 2nd at Kings of Cali, only losing to Mango. But this next tournament was something no one saw coming. EVO 2013. Even if you're new to the scene, there's a good chance you know about this tournament, specifically Wobbles' insane run. Wobbles went absolutely berserk at the most prestigious tournament of the year and defeated a heaping amount of amazing players to reach 2nd. This was the highest an Ice Climbers player has ever played at an event at this scale. He defeated Shroomed, Mango, PPMD, and Hungrybox to reach grand finals on the winner's side. After taking down Hungrybox, Wobbles became one of the first players to ever defeat 4 of the melee gods. He beat 3 of them for the first time at EVO 2013. Even though he wasn't able to win the tournament, with Mango going on one of the greatest losers runs ever, 2nd at EVO was absolutely unreal. It's probably the greatest Cinderella run of all time. It was very reminiscent of Jmook's run at Genesis where he got 2nd. Wobbles' insane run was almost not a thing though. Melee has had a rocky relationship with Nintendo, and at EVO 2013 almost didn't happen. The greatest Ice Climber run was nearly cancelled. It was only saved because the community banded together and Nintendo received extreme backlash from the community when they tried to cancel streaming Melee at EVO 2013. This prompted Nintendo to lift the ban on Melee, thus enabling Wobbles to achieve his legendary run, allowing the stream to put Wobbles in the limelight he deserved. Now we have to mention that despite reaching grands at EVO with wobbling and popularizing the technique, Wobbles a lot of the time chose not to use it. He was extremely proficient at handoffs though, and has countless videos of him performing some of the most wild Ice Climber combos ever. Wobbles made a very lengthy post citing depression issues at the time and how he felt that he didn't want to do dumb stuff to win. He felt a little hollow winning by camping or wobbling, so he would limit himself intentionally to get more enjoyment out of the game. Who can blame the guy? Not everyone is only playing to win, especially since wobbling was looked so down on. Now in 2014, Wobbles had some good placings throughout the year. At Game Guys Intergalactic Kegger? Seriously guys, we gotta work on these tournament names. He placed 2nd at this tournament just behind Mewtwo King. At Low Tier City in Forte 2, Wobbles placed 3rd losing to Westballs at LTC 3 and Axe at Forte 2. He also managed another 2nd place finish at Infinity and Beyond 18. While he ultimately lost to Mewtwo King, he was able to reset the bracket and hit not just the greatest Ice Climber combo ever, but one of the greatest combos in Melee history.
I'm feeling a little claustrophobic watching this match. Just can't get away. He cannot get away. Incredible regrab.
You can't escape! You can't escape! You can't! You don't show that pass! Destruction!
Wow.
Wow!
Oh my god.
Wow!
In 2015, Wobbles' first event was Smash the Target. I was actually at this tournament, being one of my first in my hometown of Tucson. Check that out, I was recording Smash events since day 1. Anyway, Wobbles managed to place 3rd at the event, behind Westballs and Axe. He attended Apex 2015, but ended DQing himself at 33rd. Kind of a little bit of hit to his placings. 2015 was also the year Wobbles was picked up by his first big esports organization, Panda Global, not only as a competitor, but as a commentator as well. He placed 9th at Sandstorm and 13th at Tipped Off 11. He then got a lowly 129th at EVO 2015, but his placing seemed to get lower and lower as the years went on. But he was able to redeem himself from last year though, and won Low Tier City over Mewtwo King and Forte 3 over Westballs. Wobbles was very active in 2015, and this carried over into 2016. He began with a lackluster 97th at Genesis, but he did pretty decent at PAX Arena 2016 and B6, placing 9th and 7th respectively. Wobbles managed to channel some of the energy from his EVO 2013 run and manage an insane 4th place finish at Battle of the 5 Gods. He outdid 2 gods at the Gods themed tournament. At Smash Summit 2, he placed 13th, 9th at DreamHack Austin, and was unable to defend his Low Tier City crown, placing 5th at Low Tier City 4. And at Smash Summit 2, Wobbles was famously known for losing a stock to Ice in a crew battle and punching a hole in the wall.
You still don't want to lose stock. Yeah, and then everyone. Oh!
Stop
Everyone.
it.
You don't belong on this stage.
Yeah, right?
Oh, that's it.
Nice from
He threw the controller.
the German pop.
He threw the controller.
Who did?
Wobbles did.
A little
Classic. Yeah.
Oh,
Man, that was classic.
I watched
Oh,
it.
wow.
No. Oh, that's not cool, actually.
Ooh.
It's just a game. It's just one stock of a crew battle. It's not like you. Is your hand okay?
Man's had some dedication to the game. Some people see him as a rage monster, but I just kind of think he cared a lot to win. Getting back to his placings though, he placed a lower 33rd at CEO 2016, a decent 25th at Big House 6, and ended the year on a nice 13th for Shine 2016. 2017 and 2018 were pretty much the end of Wobbles as a competitor. He had pretty okay placements all around, such as 65th at EVO 2017, 25th at Low Tier City 5, and 33rd at Too Hot to Handle. In 2018, he only had EVO where he placed 33rd. He did stay within the scene though, switching more into a commentator similar to other prominent figures like Homemade Waffles and Scar. Wobbles was an amazing commentator, able to commentate any matchup between any two players without bias. He also had a legendary moment at Smash and Splash 4. Ninja, the biggest Twitch streamer around at the time, was watching this tournament. Ninja sent a lot of his viewers to watch the bracket, and Melee's viewership skyrocketed. Wobbles, as Grand Finals was ending, addressed those viewers, saying if they enjoyed watching that, they should give Melee a shot.
So right now, we are aware that we have a lot of extra audience viewers coming from Ninja Stream.
Shout
a
out
lot
to
of people
Ninja.
who might not have watched Smash before. There are a lot of resources for you guys if you want to be part of this exciting action and play your favorite children's party game competitively with a bunch of people who know what they're doing, and they're actually pretty cool. You can look on YouTube. We have tutorials. We have a documentary detailing the history and how you can get in and see like how it started and why you should be a part of it. You can come check it out, and you might be able to come to a tournament like this. You might get to play Mewtwo King for your very first game ever.
While we don't know how many actually did end up trying Melee, it was still an incredible moment from Wobbles, doing whatever's best for the Melee scene. Now, how good was Wobbles actually? He was pretty amazing. His run at EVO 2013 is the highest an Ices has ever placed at an event of that scale. He outplaced 4 out of the 5 gods and was one of the few people to nearly beat all 5 of them, only missing Armada. Even without wobbling, he was still incredible, able to perform very well and execute some of the greatest handoff combos ever. His revolutionary playstyle of not wobbling and using handoffs contributed to how ice climbers play to this day. Wobbles was also very active in his regions. While he didn't go over them because we were focusing on his majors, he attended locals very often. He was big on supporting his scene. Not many top players go to local tournaments, but Wobbles was always there. He really cared about the game, and even delivering a heartfelt speech of how emotionally intense Melee is after Grand Finals at Smash and Splash 3. Though we haven't heard from him in a while, he will always be a Melee legend. What do you guys think about Wobbles? Do you think he's the greatest Ice Climbers player ever? Who do you want to see next in the How Good Were They Actually series? Let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to check out the Patreon where you can help support me. Thank you so much for watching.